folks, Eric Dylan Stanish here with another installment of Eric Dylan Unfiltered. I don't know if I'm going to stick with that name or not, but either way, these are just ruminations, thoughts, theories, etc. from a dude driving back and forth an hour to work and an hour home. So anyway, yesterday we had talked a little bit. I had talked a little bit to you guys about mindset and what it can do as far as focusing on lack, focusing on what you don't have, and how that can change your financial situation for the worse by thinking that way. Now, I'm here to tell you, when you look at your bank account, you look at your savings, you look at your checking, etc., and you don't see the numbers that you, of course, want to see, it's really easy to take that as a confirmation that, oh, this isn't going to work, this mindset isn't going to work, all this positive thinking is bullshit. And don't get me wrong, I fucking did that for a long time, a really long time. A big chunk of my life I spent trying to shift my head into a more positive spot and my thoughts and therefore my emotions into a more happier, more focused on the good than the bad, silver lining, whatever you want to call it. I tried, but what I was failing to realize is that I had to persist in that belief and hold that belief so true in my mind and in my heart, coherently between both of them, that no matter what I saw for what I consider to be proof here in reality, to not allow that to actually change my mindset. And what I mean by that, if any of you follow the works of Neville, Goddard, and believe in law of assumption, manifestation, anything along those lines, now there's a lot of discredit towards manifestation, and a lot of people look at it like, that's bullshit, you can't make things happen by thinking about them. Well, you're right. If it's something that you can affect by doing the work, putting in the studying, researching the subject, etc., you can't just think your way into something. But what you can do is stop looking for some kind of instantaneous proof or disproof that where your mind is shifting towards, where your positive mindset has been planted. The analogy that I've heard over and over again, speaking of planted, is it's like planting a seed and then digging that seed up every single day to see if it's growing. It's not going to grow. You're eventually going to kill that. Even if it sprouts, you're going to kill it from digging it up every day. Plant the seed, water it, take care of it, and allow it to germinate. And in that same analogy, when you are working on shifting your mind towards positivity, definitely look into Neville Goddard. Look into the millions of YouTube and TikTok videos that are out there, Instagram, any social media, about manifestation. Come at it least with an open mind, because there's scientific proof behind quantum entanglement and any of the more, I guess you would say, science-based, but yeah, theories, but still science-based experiments that have been replicated that show the connection between not just humans and our thoughts and our collective consciousness, but also particles and how they react to being observed, how they can act in conjunction with each other regardless of the distance they're separated by. And it goes back to the same vein of what I was talking about yesterday about time. Our thoughts about, oh God, how long is something going to take? Once again, going back to this same bit about positive mindset. I've had people ask me, how long is it going to take before I really change my mind and I become positive and then I start seeing things happen? Well, hey, believe me, I know what the fuck that's like. As humans, we want things to actually happen when we want them to happen. And although there's no way to compress the amount of time that goes by, we can make sure that we set ourselves up for the absolute best possible result by, once again, looking at that mental diet. Ask yourself, just take note of this through a day. What's my little voice inside my head keep telling me all day long? Is it telling me, oh fuck, what a shitty day. Oh God, this job sucks. I fucking hate this, and I know I'm gonna go home to a mess, or I'm gonna go home to this didn't happen, or this did happen, or the kids are acting like this, or God, I've got to go do this, I've got to go do that. You know, one of the things that brings me around full circle when it comes to that is, sorry, I had to get out of the way there. Yeah, the track hawk can get you out of the way if you need to get around somebody. Anyhow, one of the things that's brought my mind full circle about the attitude of just saying, I've got to do this or I've got to do that. I've lost some really close friends over the years that I've been on this planet. Different things. Suicides, accidents, life-ending situations. But, you know, I think about those people and I wonder, I bet you they would like to be able to have one more day on the planet to say, I gotta go to the gym. I gotta pick up the kids from school. Oh God, I gotta go home and deal with blank, blank, blank. The temporary nature of our existence in this plane changes a lot of what we view as being worthwhile or not. And what I mean by that is, once again, shifting the mindset to saying, there are things that will happen in any given day that may not be the happiest things that go on, you know, war, pestilence, accidents, spilling coffee on yourself, dog pissed on the floor, whatever it may be. But gradually, as you feed yourself that mental diet of saying, I'm exactly where I need to be, doing exactly what I need to be doing. Even something as simple as a statement like that, and then you realize, you know, maybe I spilled coffee on myself this morning, slowed me down. This is just an example. It slowed me down from getting to work, and I was 5 minutes late to work. If I would have been 5 minutes earlier, I may have gotten in a wreck and died. Now, I know that's a little bit extreme of a thought, but once again, going back to that, everything happens for a reason shit. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't take something like a massive disaster like an earthquake kills X number of people and go, well, that's just the way things are. It was just meant to happen like that. I guess they were just in the wrong place at the wrong time, or they weren't thinking positive. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's not the kind of mind shift that I'm talking about, and that's not worth a fuck for anybody, honestly. What I'm saying is just recognizing that internal voice in our heads, realizing that a lot of our self-sabotage comes from that little voice. And when we're aware of it and we notice those thoughts coming up, it doesn't mean we instantly are able to just make them go away, dissuade them, they disappear, etc. But recognizing that they actually exist and then going, okay, well, thank you to myself. Thank you for that warning. Thank you for that physiological reaction to the situation that I'm in as a little bit of a heads up that this may not be the greatest thing going on right now. But via reframing that particular situation, and no, not every delay or every bad thing that happens or every deleterious thing that goes on in life was preventing you from getting in a wreck and dying. That's an extreme example. But I'm just saying, we can all agree on one thing. Even those of us who don't believe in esoteric, cosmic consciousness, woo-woo things, as they say, that we only believe in straight science. I'm a scientific guy. Okay. Any of us that are of that ilk can still agree that if you wake up in the morning and let's say something like that does happen to you, yeah, I wear my seatbelt under my shoulder, just rotator cuff type shit. Anyway, if any of us that can agree from a science-based perspective that if you start out the day, something bad does happen to you, flat tire. Fucking flat tire, damn it, I don't have a spare. You know, how am I going to get to work? I'm going to have to call, I'm going to have to do this, I'm going to have to do that. Got to figure out some way to get this sorted. Well, if we carry that same energy through the day, as soon as we finally get to work, let's say, you know, we get a ride, somebody takes us there, whatever the situation may be. Tell everybody at work, oh, fuck, you know, I'm sorry, I'm late. Thanks for covering for me, etc. Oh, but I got a flat tire. You know, that's kind of shit that just happens. That's just my luck. You don't realize that neuro-linguistic programming, or NLP, is not just the study of words and how other people react to the words that we say. It's also the way that we react to the words that we say to ourselves, and the repetition and the subsequent programming. Like I said yesterday, growing up hearing things, yep, life's just tough, you know, life's tough, and then pay taxes and die. Those are the only two sure things in life, you know, life sucks. If we hear that repeatedly, program it into our heads, of course we're going to act like that. But going back to what I was saying about people that believe strictly science and want nothing to do with the more esoteric end of things, like I'm saying about the positive mindset, manifestation, and whatnot. Radar detectors are legal in my state. And yes, I do run one because I tend to drive like a bit of a prick. Not even necessarily like a prick. I'm not like swerving lanes, as you can tell, cutting people off or anything, but I definitely drive a tad faster than the speed limit. So anyway, what I was saying is people that are scientifically minded and do not give a bit of credence to any of the esoteric things that I've been speaking about, manifestation, etc., are also the same people that can agree if we have something bad happen to us earlier in the day, like I was talking about the flat tire example, and we focus on that and we keep talking about that and we keep saying what a shitty day we're having, we're definitely going to have a bad day. Now, there's two different schools of thought on that. One school of thought says that we magnetize ourselves towards more bad things occurring. All right. The other school of thought says no, because you have that negative filter. You're going to view anything else that goes on in the day, maybe with a worse lens than you would otherwise, than if you were in a good mood. Now, I don't have proof either way that one is right and one is wrong. I say it's a combination of the two. So if we can agree on that, bad mood causes a bad day, or at least makes the day worse, why wouldn't a good mood make a good day better? Or any day better? I'm not advising some Mary Poppins bullshit, so don't come at me with that. But I can say from personal experience that the one person that had told me repeatedly that changing my mindset would change my life, she was right. She was right. And I will be eternally thankful for having that person in that place in my life, giving me that knowledge. And you know who you are. Thank you. Thank you for putting that knowledge in my head, and I apologize that I didn't embrace those changes earlier on. So, yeah. That being said, this is just a short one. Fucking radar detector. I almost wonder if I shouldn't shut it off when I'm doing these little mini podcast videos. I don't even know if you'd really call this a podcast, but I'm calling it something. Eric Dylan Stanish, unfiltered. I'm not really, well, I guess I am kind of fucking unfiltered, but I haven't even gotten into the really unfiltered shit yet. Because I don't want to talk just about mindset or just about, whoa, what the hell? I'm just looking at this sheriff. He is whipping into a parking lot, turning around. Oh, he's got business to do. My man is on a mission. Atta boy. Oh, shit. Well, don't pull out into traffic, though, sir. Turn your lights on. Here I am giving advice to the law enforcement officer like I fucking know something. I always thought that would be, of course, you know, as a kid, oh, I want to be a cop, I want to be a cop. I just wanted to drive fucking fast everywhere. And I figured if I turned my lights on, I could drive fast everywhere. Officers out there, no offense to y'all, but I have seen a handful of examples where the lights get clicked on, haul ass, click the lights off, slow down. Hey, more power to you. Anyway, on that side note, I'll sign off because I'm about to pull up to work, and we will continue this shit later.